Good afternoon and welcome to LAT's Market Insights. This week, newswires and market moves have been dominated by the ever-growing threat and concern of the global spread of coronavirus. Latest reports suggest 26 individuals have lost their life, with a further 800 suspected to be carrying the virus. This has led to China taking some pretty extreme measures, restricting the movement of 30 million of their own citizens. This is proportionate to the entire population of Australia. Australia themselves, however, are now under threat. 6 cases have been confirmed on home soil. The seemingly rapid expansion of this virus has led to a risk-off mood through the markets. Risk-off currencies such as the Japanese yen have gained in strength, and indices have started to show signs of vulnerability. None more so than the China 50. Of course, the China 50 bearing the brunt of this outbreak of coronavirus. The big question is, the dramatic sell-off we've seen this week, could we have anticipated it? Could we have predicted it using technical analysis? Let's have a look at the chart and see what it could have shown us. Here's our daily chart for the China 50. Okay, we can see this strong bullish rally up towards this monthly R1 pivot point. That pivot point acting as major resistance for us here. And in line with that, my momentum indicator, my RSI, showing us above that 70% region in overbought territory, and then representing itself as divergence here on these previous 2 highs. Potential signs then on the daily that this could be due a pullback. As we come over into the 4-hour chart here, we see the technicals unfolding in a little bit more detail. This strong bullish channel that had developed here throughout China over the past couple of months starting to show signs of weakness as we lose momentum, with the 2 previous highs failing to reach the top of that channel line. The fundamentals then started to take over, and we saw a breakdown through this confirmed 3-touch trend line, and also a break through the 61% Fibonacci retracement of that final move. Once we were through these 2 levels, it was a rapid descent down towards channel support and the pivot point. That support, that short-term support at the channel projection and that pivot point didn't last for long as selling pressure started to build, and we saw a move right down to this round number here at 13,600. So a big move here in the China markets, unsurprisingly. However, did this risk-off move, this sell-off, did it provide us with some opportunities elsewhere? The Japanese yen gaining in strength, of course. Let's have a look to that chart. Dollar yen actually presented itself this week fairly similar to the China 50. If we bring this chart into focus here now, we can see that again, this rapid move, the similarities here between the China 50, that bullish move, up we came, found resistance again at this R2 monthly pivot point. Tested it firstly, tested it again here, and then went into a bit of a consolidation whilst there was some indecision around the markets. Again, all of this resistance reinforced here by bearish divergence on our momentum indicator. The sell-off then began, and it was again a rapid descent as we pushed lower through support at 109.68, eventually finding support at this R1 pivot point and bouncing at 109.25. Okay, some big moves there in safe haven currencies such as the yen, and of course the sell-off in the index. In other news this week, global leaders traveled to Davos for their flagship event. As of yet, we haven't seen too much movement, any lasting movement in the market. However, ongoing concerns around trade tension, climate change and rising populism, no doubt at the forefront of everybody's mind. As we go into next week, we will see if there is any more developments from this and anything to look for. In terms of potential opportunities coming up, we've talked about that expansion and that growth of coronavirus into Australia. So let's have a look at the Aussie 200. Okay, the Aussie 200, is that destined to have a similar fate to the China 50? Only time will tell. But if we have a look towards the chart here, a very similar story. Okay, a very similar story here Let's remove these pivot points. Looking at this very simplistically, this strong bullish charge, it's been relentless for the Aussie 200 over the past few months. However, they now have those confirmed 6 sightings, 6 confirmed cases on home soil, and we start to see the formation here of a potential head and shoulders, a reversal pattern that could see the Aussie dollar pull back in line with that move that we've seen with China 50. Again, confirming this move here with this bearish divergence through the RSI. Okay, so a potential chart to look for here. Coming into next week, what have we got coming up? Of course, FOMC, the US are in action with their interest rate decision, and of course the Bank of England also on Thursday. What will we expect from the Bank of England? Currently, expectation 70% likelihood of a rate cut. However, off the back of today, we saw our flash manufacturing PMI figures a beat on expectation. Will this see a reduction in that percentage chance of a rate cut? Are we back down to a 50-50? Only time will tell. Looking towards cable next week in order to gain an insight as to where we believe that interest rate decision will fall. That is all for now from LAT. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back with you next week.